People are still joining. I'm waiting for them to join. People who have already joined, can someone confirm if you guys can see my screen and hear me well?
Yes.
We can
Yes,
hear
sir.
you and
Thank you.
not able to see your screen.
Can anyone see my screen, or all of you are not able to see my screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Who's not able to see?
Me, Murtaza.
Uh, Murtaza, could you try rejoining? Because I do not have any setting here where I can share
Yes,
individually, or I
yes.
cannot share. Yeah. So I
I'll
think
I'll
you will have to
rejoin.
rejoin. Yeah, try doing
I'll
that while others are joining. We have still have time. While others are joining, anyone has any question? Though we already had our question answer session at 12:30. People who joined, they had their query, they shared their screen. I shared my screen, and we had a good session. So if you had any question, or if you have any question, please guys do attend those sessions also. And I'm not counting them in your 50 hours. Don't worry.
Yes, now I'm able to see.
Great. So I see many people have joined. We can start. Anyone has any question related to PVS, practical, or anything? I
So if
checked
I
your
do,
task. Yeah, Murtaz, I got it. You have not completed, right? We'll see if we can accommodate you in someone's subscription today.
yes, please.
What about others, guys? Any other doubt anyone has? Okay, so let's proceed, guys. I have asked you, I've shared some videos with you guys. I've asked you to go through and start reading about networking, because basics of networking, it is not a scope of Azure AZ104 or 305. And even if I want to teach it to you guys, then it's gonna take forever. Right? So I want you to do your homework, prerequisite, complete it. I've shared some relevant videos. Those are with animation, and those are very good videos. And if you want to, even I have my own videos. If you go to my YouTube channel and check the previous playlist for the previous class, there I have covered in networking everything in detail, from CIDR to from public IP, private IP, communication, and everything. But that class took almost 6 months for me to complete, so I don't want to do that here, and that is not even in our scope, right? So I hope, did anyone start watching those videos on networking?
Yes, I started the sessions. I mean, the link that you shared.
Okay, anyone else? Because it has to be mutually efforts. Okay, it will not be possible for me alone to do everything for you, and then you to clear an interview or get a job. You will have to put your efforts, guys. Please understand that. Okay, so I'm still requesting you to go ahead and watch those videos. उससे networking के basics आपके clear हो जाएंगे. You will be able to understand something, that what are we doing here, that what is public IP, what is private IP, why do we have public IP, why do we have private IPs, public थे तो private की क्यों जरूरत थी, scope क्या है, can public and private talk to each other, if they cannot, what is the method we can apply to make them talk to each other, if it is a business requirement, some details like that, those will be cleared. How to do that on cloud, that is a part of our that is in our scope, that is in scope of what AZ10 with 305 or 104, and that we are going to cover. So before we go ahead and start networking, I told you guys that there are a few topics which were pending, so we're going to cover that today. One of them is Bastion. Again, Bastion, without understanding the network, it is not possible to understand it properly. So today, it will be an introductory session for Bastion. And once we have covered the networking topic, you guys will have to combine those and understand it. Okay. Uh, I told you there are many topics in Azure which you cannot understand solely or in isolation. So we discuss something, and then we discuss something else, and then we combine both of them. Best example, load balancer and our availability zone or availability set or virtual machine scale set. Okay. Similarly, today we are going to see Bastion, how it works. You will get a fair idea. You will be able to complete your practical also after today's session. But how to create it from another method, that you will understand once we complete our networking session. So we're going to do Bastion today. We'll start with Bastion. immediately. We'll see how to create a virtual machine using PowerShell script. Then we are going to see shared disk. This we have discussed, but we didn't see the practical. It's a very small one and it's very
Hello,
simple.
Sohail bhai,
Yes,
can you zoom it?
sure. Visible?
Yes.
Okay, though you guys, you have a copy of this OneNote. You can open it at your end and you can see it on your screen also. I'm sure all of you have this, right? By at this moment, anyone who doesn't have access to this OneNote? I hope all of you have it, right? Because all notes and everything is coming from here, and I keep updating this. I keep updating, keep removing, keep deleting, and this is I have not shared an offline copy with you. It's an online. So whatever I make changes here, whatever I do here, it will appear on your copy also. So make sure you keep it open in front of you and you highlight things, you bold something, or maybe you just copy paste it in your notes while I'm doing this. This will help you to, for further studies and to clear your interview. Okay, shared disk we are going to cover, and then we will post that we will start networking. Hence, please start. I have mentioned it here also. See, please start reading the topics about networking and IPs and etc. Whatever. I've shared the link also. I'm not asking you to go ahead and search something. So let's start with Bastion, guys. Anyone knows what is Bastion? This is how it is pronounced. Bastion. Even if your interviewer is saying someone would say Bastion वगैरह कुछ और भी बोलता है, you don't worry about it and do not try to correct him or her. And that's not your job, right? आप लोगों को समझ में आ गया? From my previous batch, we were giving one of the interviews. Arbaz, if anyone who knows Arbaz, ask them his own interview where he is working today. That interviewer का language उसको समझ में नहीं आ रहा था. I mean इतना mispronunciation था सिक्योरिटी में और बहुत सारे pronunciations में, right? But that is not the correct platform where you go ahead and correct him. इंटरव्यूअर को आप नहीं करेक्ट करोगे. यू अंडरस्टैंड, ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड कॉन्टेक्स्ट में समझने की ट्राई करो एंड गिव योर आंसर एंड दैट्स इट. तो बैशन को आप कभी बैशन सुनोगे, कभी बैशियन सुनोगे, किसी भी तरह से सुन सकते हैं. देन अगेन द प्रोनाउंसिएशन इज नॉट द स्कोप ऑफ आवर ट्रेनिंग. दो इट इज बैशन फॉर श्योर. Stick to this. When you say is Bastion, and when interviewer is saying something, just understand, okay, he's talking about Bastion. So anyone know what is Azure Bastion? Any idea? Anyone went ahead and read something before our training? It is there already. यहाँ पर कहीं पर होगा. So anyone read about Bastion, guys? Anyone knows what is Bastion? Yes, 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 no, maybe.
It's connect to the virtual machine.
Yeah, partially correct. Anyone else? Here it is. Okay, that's okay. Even if you don't know, I was just searching it for your interview definition. So this should be your interview definition if someone is asking, unless you can make your own statement, guys. If you can make your own statement, nothing like that. But if you cannot, कि यार मुझको Bastion समझ में तो आ गया, but I cannot explain it. So for those people, I have already written it. Mug it up from here. So Azure Bastion service enables you to securely and seamlessly RDP or SSH your virtual machines in Azure Virtual Network, okay, without exposing a public IP on a VM, directly from the Azure portal without the need of any additional client, agent, or any piece of software. Azure Bastion is fully platform managed, which is a platform as a service. It is a PaaS service. Remember that, guys. So if they are asking that have you ever worked on PaaS services, yes, Azure Bastion is one of the PaaS service. इसके पहले जितने हम सर्विस पढ़ते हैं उनमें से मैक्सिमम हम लोगों ने अभी तक infrastructure as a service को पढ़ा है. This is one of the PaaS service. So Azure Bastion is fully platform managed PaaS service. You provision inside your virtual network and it uses port 443. So this should be your definition. एक interview question का interview answer इस तरह से होना चाहिए. ठीक है. Now let me elaborate it and explain it to you and then we'll go to portal. So now guys, I have told you कि public IP हम किसी भी virtual machine में कब use करते हैं? only in our training sessions. Didn't I tell you कि आपके production environment में you will never ever see a public IP, right? Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir. Well.
Yes.
Right. So if I'm telling you that we don't use public IP, then how do I access my machines? So let me go to portal, start creating machines, and then I'll show it to you. That if we have some machines, how would you access them? Let me create a machine for you guys first. And while those are being created, we'll go back to the explanation again. So these are my existing machines. Let's not touch them. I'm creating a machine here, a new machine. And these things, guys, I can do before we start our session. मैं machine वगैरह बना कर रख सकता हूँ. Then you will not understand. That is the reason I don't do that. So Bastion, this is a Bastion practical we are doing. Windows VM, so one, or I'll call it as my jump server. Anyone knows what is a jump server, guys?
No, Sohail bhai.
No worries, we'll cover that also. So this is a jump server I'm creating. I'll explain it to you what a jump server is and everything. Okay, guys, see. Do you see this error, guys? I don't want to name someone, but I have received a screenshot for this also that I'm getting this error. So guys, for errors, I always tell you, please read the error message. If it is related to quota, what does it say? कि यार आपकी subscription में virtual machines extra pending नहीं है और आपके subscription में there are no more virtual CPUs. So if something is like that, that is not an error. You will need to learn those things to tackle it yourself. I'm telling you, it's easier for me. मैं screenshot देके 2 मिनट में बता दूंगा यार वो check करो and then create it and it will be done. But then you're not learning anything. So start reading error message, warnings, copy them, paste them to Google, YouTube, and that is how you are going to learn. So this is the jump server I have created. I will be creating 2 more machines. One of them I'll create Windows and one of them I'll create Linux. On this one, I think I assigned public IP, which wasn't required. We'll come back to that. While machine is being deployed, let's come back to this one. Okay, so what does it say? The Azure Bastion service enables you to securely and seamlessly RDP or SSH your VM in your Azure virtual network. What do you understand by this? That first thing, that this is related to your virtual network. I mean, one Bastion, it's only limited to one virtual network. If you have 2 virtual networks, separate virtual network, you cannot use the same Bastion. You will require 2 separate Bastion. Okay, let me open MS Paint. So what we have been doing here, we have been creating virtual machines till now in our practice session. Virtual machine 1, 2, 3, 4, or how many, whatever. It could be Linux or it could be Windows. It doesn't matter here, right? But what we have been doing, हम इसके साथ बना रहे थे आपका एक public IP. With every machine, we were assigning public IP, right? And from your laptop or somewhere, you are just taking the RDP. Let's say this is your laptop. I mean, your network. It could be laptop, desktop, virtual machine. It could be your office network, personal network, could be anything. Your network. From your network, what were you doing? You were taking RDP or SSH. If it is a Linux machine, SSH. If it is RDP, if it is Windows machine, RDP. Using what? What were you using? Which IP were you using, guys? Was it a private IP or public IP?
Public IP.
Public IP.
Yeah. So public IP. Most of you, in fact, all of you, we haven't tried it yet, and we haven't covered private IP. Cover ही नहीं किया, so forget about trying. Networking part जब cover करेंगे, उसके बाद I'll show it to you प्राइवेट आईपी से भी किस तरह होता है. Okay, so this is what you have been doing. But what I told you, public IP is limited. It is the costliest, one of the costliest resource, और limited है काफी. When you start reading your basics of networking, you will realize कि public IP एक limited है और हर वेबसाइट, हर कोई public IP यूज करना चाहता है. So it is not possible. अगर आप अपने individual machine को public IP देना चाहोगे ना, तो खत्म हो जाएगा IP. There will be no more IP. And remember one thing, IPs cannot be repeated. मतलब इस तरह से नहीं हो सकता कि इसको एक public IP और same public IP यहाँ पर है. Not possible. Okay, so it can be used only once and बहुत limited है वो. So to avoid this situation, and one more, ये तो हुआ पैसा वगैरह की बात, ठीक है. There is some company जिसको पैसे की कोई चिंता नहीं है, limitation से उसको कोई मतलब नहीं है. Still, this is the biggest security threat. It is directly happening on your internet. मतलब any person who has access to that IP, मतलब अगर आप मेरे पास आपका IP भी आ गया ना, at least I can go to that window जहाँ पे login कर सकते हैं ना. Let's say this one. I'm not sure if this will work. किसी के load balancer का ये है. I've deleted that. But when I clicked on connect, I got that user ID and pop-up, user ID and password वाला pop-up, right? Though I did not have password, but this is the very first step for one hacker. It is very simple thing. उसके बाद कि किसी को अपना IP मिल गया, he knows कुछ admin होगा, ये होगा, and then he will try his multiple methods. ये जो होता है आपका पासवर्ड पुशिंग वाले सॉफ्टवेयर होते हैं कहीं पर जो बहुत सारे कॉम्बिनेशन से ट्राई करते हैं. I mean, you have given one step to them कि आप आके मेरा सिस्टम हैक कर लो, क्रैक कर लो. If it is on public IP, it will be easier for them to do that, right? So you never ever keep it on public IP. Cost, limitation and security. Public IP पे आप कभी नहीं रखोगे इसलिए. So what is the other method then? Private वाला जो मैं बता रहा हूँ, we'll discuss that later. ठीक है? If it is not private, then what other method do I have? So, and this is also a combination of private. Let's say that I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Then what else can I do? Then Bastion comes to your picture in the same virtual network. Imagine all these machines are in same virtual network. Okay, though you have not been creating virtual network, guys. So this is in VNet 001. But meanwhile, but by now you guys know कि virtual network अलग होते हैं, right? We have seen, इतना आप लोगों को पता है आपके virtual network होते हैं. We have seen कि same virtual network में आपको आपका load balancer बनाना था, same region में बनाना था. So you know that. So let's say this is in virtual network 001, all these machines, and I do not want any of the public IP on these machines. And this is one of the security reasons also. अगर कोई पूछता है कि what were you doing in your infrastructure to keep your machines safe, so you can mention that sorry, that we never used public IP. We made sure no ports were open. These are the things you can say. Okay, so I do not want any public IP on any of the machines. What I want is all private IP. किसी ना किसी तरह का IP तो लगने ही वाला है. You cannot say कि मैं without IP access करूंगा. Not possible. Okay, if connectivity has to be there, तो either private IP or public IP कुछ तो होना चाहिए. Right? So I am saying that I want private IP. Okay, here I have private IP. Here I have private IP. Here I have private IP. Now, what did I say, guys? Private IP, they can talk to each other. Not all of them. उसमें काफी सारे pros and cons और बहुत सारे conditions हैं. We'll see them later. But as of now, understand these private IPs can talk to each other. Right? These can talk to each other. ये सब एक दूसरे से बात कर सकते हैं और connectivity है. Okay. But now from your network, you cannot talk to them. From your network, you cannot talk to them. Why? Because you are on public and these are in private. Or maybe you are also in private, but आपका एक अलग private network है, इनका एक अलग private network है. So what can be done now? यहाँ पर आपका Bastion जो है, that helps. What is a Bastion? Bastion is a way to connect it. Like here it says, it is a service which enables you to securely and seamlessly RDP or SSH to your VMs. Now, how it works, Bastion will help you to connect to one of these machines. ठीक है, इन सब पे नहीं. Bastion आप VNet पे एक apply करोगे, and let's say that you will have a machine here. एक machine आप यहाँ पर बनाओगे. This you will call your jump server. Now I will explain what is a jump server. Okay. This jump server will also have a private IP. Same इसी तरह का private IP आपका होगा उस jump server पे भी. Okay. Now this jump server is also connected with all of these machines. Again, same virtual network में है, तो ये सारे machine से connected है. मतलब if somehow you manage to come to this machine, आप इस machine पे बैठकर इनका RDP ले सकते हो, इस machine पे बैठ के इनका SSH कर सकते हो. Now, how to come to this machine? What do you think? What comes to your mind? How can I come? Forget Bastion. उसके अलावा, how can I come to this machine? Jump server. What we have been doing till now. उसमें से कुछ apply करो अगर आप तो. My condition is I don't want public IPs on these machines. ये 6 machine पर मुझको public IP नहीं चाहिए. बाकी rest do whatever you want, and I want connectivity. I want this network. I want this network to connect all those machines. कुछ ऐसा होना चाहिए कि मैं यहाँ से इन machines को connect करूँ. So what do you think I can use?
So connect means, are we taking the remote access?
Yes, remote access, ping, anything. You establish the network connectivity. उसके बाद आप कुछ भी कर लो.
Okay, we can take with the RDP.
But how? As of now, it has only private IP.
Can you
And-
make a script?
No, don't get into it. And my condition is, guys, I want private IP only on these machines. This is my condition, being very clear. On these 6 machines, I have my data on these machines. Okay, I have my data, I have everything on these machines. I do not want public IP at all on these machines. Perfect, Ibrahim, that was correct. Yeah. Ibrahim says using load balancer. Yes, that is one of the ways. That is the reason I want you to guys think about it. That load balancer, I told you, it's not only for forget high availability. You can use a load balancer. ये 6 machines को backend में लगा लो आप. And here you will have a public IP. Public IP से आप remote लेना शुरू हो जाओ, and then you will have access to this one. Correct? Yes. We can use public IP for load. That is one. Another one. What else can we do? What else can we do? My condition is very clear, guys. I want public. I do not want any public IP on these 6 machines. I'm being very specific. With this machine, you can do whatever you want.
So Suhail bhai, can we use public IP for jump server?
Yes, why not? That's what I wanted to hear. You can use a public IP here also. So you use a public IP here. This is again, we are not learning Bastion. ठीक है, मैं सिर्फ आप लोगों को ये देख रहा हूँ कि what comes to your mind, what options do we have? So I can use a public IP here. Using public IP, I'm sure आप लोगों ने इतने मशीन बनाए, अब तक आप लोगों ने देख ही लिया होगा कि your machine will have public and private IPs both. तो ये क्वेश्चन किसी के माइंड में नहीं आ रहा होगा अब तक कि यार can I have both of them? इतने machines आपने देखे हैं, उस पर you guys must have seen that you will have a public IP and a private IP. Can you see? So this thing you can do कि आपने यहाँ पर ये बना लिया एक जंप सर्वर, एंड जंप सर्वर इसको बोला ही जाता है इसलिए because this is being the usage of this server is only to take remote or communicate with other servers. इसमें मेरा कोई भी डेटा नहीं है, कोई सेंसिटिव डेटा नहीं है, किसी तरह का कुछ भी नहीं है. ठीक है, so from your network you will come to this server, and from this server now using private IP, और प्राइवेट आईपी में जैसे आते हो ना, तो बहुत सारे आप फायरवॉल रूल्स लगा सकते हो. सिक्योरिटी का मतलब एक नेक्स्ट लेवल पे आप ले जा सकते हो. पब्लिक आईपी पे आप उतना कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकते हो. प्राइवेट आईपी पे आपका एक नेक्स्ट लेवल का कंट्रोल होगा. सो इट्स नॉट सेम कि आप यहाँ से यहाँ जा रहे हो एंड आप इस जंप सर्वर से जा रहे हो. इट्स नॉट द सेम थिंग. ठीक है, इट इज एज गुड एज के यार यहाँ से आप डायरेक्टली किसी फ्लैट में जा रहे हो. लेट्स कंसीडर दिस एज अ सोसाइटी के विदाउट सिक्योरिटी यहाँ से आप डायरेक्टली एक फ्लैट में जा रहे हो. दैट इज अ डिफरेंट थिंग. एंड यू आर कमिंग टू द सिक्योरिटी गार्ड रूम, और मे बी आपका अगर आप किसी ऑफिस वगैरह में जाते हो तो रिसेप्शन वगैरह पे आते हो, वहां पर आप आपकी एंट्री कर रहे हो, सब कुछ कर रहे हो, एंड देन फ्रॉम हियर दे विल गाइड यू कि ठीक है यहाँ से आप यहाँ पर जाओ. हियर दे विल कैप्चर योर इन्फॉर्मेशन, कुछ फिल्टर करना हो करेंगे. दे विल टेल यू कि पेन ड्राइव नहीं ले जा सकते हो आप. वो सारी चीजें आप यहाँ पर फिगर आउट कर सकते हो. So that is what your jump server is. So you can come from this network using a public IP. You can come here, and this is nothing. This is your Windows server. Though jump server can be anything, it can be Linux also, but easiness के लिए मैं फिलहाल इसको एक Windows server रख रहा हूँ. So you'll see another Windows server. It could be your this one also. client machine also, it could be anything. यहाँ पर बस आपको आना है, you will log in, you will see another machine, और यहाँ से फिर आप RDP open करोगे, and you will take a remote to this machine, you will take remote to this machine or whichever is required. Or if it is, let's say कोई यहाँ पर Linux है तो SSH to that machine, यहाँ पर putty install करके SSH to that machine. Is it clear, guys?
Yes,
Anyone
sir.
who did not understand till here?
Yes.
Clear, right? So similar thing which I'm doing here on my machine, जो मैं अपने physical computer पे कर रहा हूँ ना, यहाँ पर कि यार मैं ये इसका remote ले लेता हूँ, यहाँ से directly इसका remote ले रहा हूँ. If it is a Windows machine or if it is a Linux machine, I'll direct take SSH from here. This is what I have been doing till now. But what am I saying now? कि नहीं वो मुझको नहीं करना है. I have to do it using jump server. So jump server में कुछ नहीं है, बीच में आपका एक jump server आ गया. See, this is my jump server now. Let me take remote to that jump server. And same thing which I intend to do using my laptop, I will do the same thing using that jump server. But what is the benefit? Why am I doing it? जब directly वहां से हो सकता है तो मैं jump server पे क्यों बुला रहा हूँ किसी को अपने? Because if someone is on my jump server, then I can control that environment. Okay, on this jump server, I have control. I can control कि यहाँ पे RDP सिर्फ RDP ही होगा. इसके अलावा आप कोई SQL इंजेक्शन नहीं इंजेक्ट कर पाओगे, कोई डेटा कॉपी नहीं कर सकते हो, whatever किसी भी तरह का ये करना, because this is in my environment. Now you are in my environment. Okay, so here I can give access कि यार यहाँ से SSH होना ही नहीं चाहिए. That I can easily control on my operating system. कि यहाँ से मुझको SSH चाहिए ही नहीं, यहाँ से whatever you want to do, only do RDP. यहाँ से सिर्फ Windows मशीन को ही एक्सेस करो आप. बाहर से if I have given the access to them, public IP दे दिया जैसे ही मैंने उनको, ये हो जाएगा. And next thing, यहाँ से आने का एक और benefit है. Here in this solution, instead of 6, let's say these are 600 machines, तो मुझको 600 public IPs required होते थे, which is not possible. ठीक है, budget, availability, allotment, it is simply not possible. 600 IPs कोई नहीं देगा आपको. ठीक है, but here what am I doing? And private IP is free hai. Understand one thing, I'm just using one public IP and I am utilizing 600 machines here. Clear hai guys? Till here, is it clear?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Concept clear hai, right? So either you can have load balancer or you can have a jump server जिस पे आप public IP लगा लो. But both of these things we are not doing. What are we doing now? We are taking a Bastion server. Bastion same इसी तरह काम करता है, ठीक है? Jump server exactly यही है, बस यहाँ पर आप public IP नहीं लगाते हुए आप Bastion को enable करते हो. So let's see how that works. But to check that, to cross verify that, I will require 2 more virtual machines जिनको मैं इस machine से access कर पाऊँ, right? So first thing, let me remove the public IP from this machine because I want to access this machine using Bastion, right? So I do not want any public IP on this one. अगर public IP लगाना ही था तो then why would I have Bastion? मैं अपने jump server को भी थोड़ा सा secure रखना चाहता हूँ. I do not want any public IP. Public IP हर तरीके से जो है ना guys, from every manner, public IP is not what do you say? It's not secure at all. Clear है यहाँ तक सबके लिए? Anyone
Yes,
who
sir.
has doubt?
Yes, sir.
किसी भी तरह का doubt किसी को कुछ? Okay, if not, let me go ahead and quickly disassociate this IP. So Suraj, do you see now I'm disassociating this IP? Do we have Suraj? This I'm answering from our previous session, the question and answer session. So now I'm disassociating this public IP. I'm not deleting it. तो ये public IP मेरा एक free पड़ा हुआ है. And now if I go to load balancer same region में, there I can attach this public IP क्योंकि ये free पड़ा हुआ है. See now, this is a free public IP. I can use it anywhere. किसी और virtual machine पे भी use कर सकता हूँ. That a public IP is there. I'm paying for this, but it is not associated with any of the resources, any of my virtual machine or anything. So can you guys see? Now I do not have any public IP. My machine is up and running. I do not have any public IP. And if you guys see, मैंने जो remote लिया था वो remote यहाँ पर disconnect हो जाएगा. Why? Because I used this public IP and that public IP has been gone now. Okay. So this one has been disconnected, and now I will take remote using Bastion to this jump server, and from jump server we will have we'll try taking remote to another machines which do not have public IPs. So guys, only 10 minutes are pending. What will I do? After this session, we'll take a break of 5 minutes. In that break, I will create 2 more virtual machines. So what needs to be considered here, कि आप लोग जब बनाओगे practical करोगे, क्या ध्यान देना है आपको, that whenever you creating a new virtual machine for this practical, it has to be in the same virtual network. इसी virtual network में होना चाहिए. ये नहीं हो सकता है कि आपका Bastion एक अलग virtual network में है और आपके machines अलग virtual network में है. That is not possible. Will you be able to do that, or do you want me to get that into recording कि same virtual network में कैसे लेते हो? Quickly guys.
दिखा दो सोहेल भाई.
Okay, fine, let's do that. But guys, do not hesitate. I have told you many times. नहीं आ रहा है कुछ, that's simple, कोई बात नहीं है. You ask me, we'll do it. Okay, right. So दो चीजें नोट कर लेना. Region, because if I go to West US region or any region other than East US, I will not see my this network. और दूसरा चीज नोट कर लेना. This one. Let me do it for you. Though I have already got it, but how to do it, I'll just show it to you. पहले आप अपना रीजन ये कर लो. किसको फॉलो कर रहे हो आप? ये आपके जंप सर्वर को. पहले तो एक आप अपना जंप सर्वर बना लो कहीं पर भी, ठीक है, irrespective जो रीजन चाहिए आपको. और यहाँ पे you don't have to use any availability zone, any availability set, nothing. Just be no redundancy. Don't make it complicated. Okay. So I've copied my region. I've copied the VNet का नाम. I'll go ahead and I'll try to create another machine. See, if I want to attach this jump server and a Bastion to these machines, will I be able to do it, guys? What do you think?
No, because the different location reason.
Okay, and what if they were in same location then?
Network
They should be on same network.
Exactly.
They are not in the same network, that's why.
Exactly. The only location is not the concern. Location is the concern. Also, virtual network is the concern. So location भी same होना चाहिए. उसके बाद आपको ये दिखेगा, virtual network दिखेगा, and virtual network भी same होना चाहिए. दोनों भी सेंट्रल इंडिया में है और अलग-अलग VNet में है. Again, it is not working. So I'll go ahead and I'll select resource group. It's not a concern. You can have another resource group if you want. I'll show it to you. Let's say these are I'm calling them private IP servers. So what am I doing? I'm creating a new resource group. You guys will not be able to create it, but I'm just showing it to you. Okay, so this is my private IP VM 001. So now here, if I take West US, do you think it will work for me? If I go to networking and come here, will I see my existing virtual network?
No.
No, you will not see. You will have to take your same region जहां पर आपका वो virtual network है, which is our East US. I told you हमको कोई किसी तरह की availability zone ये सब नहीं चाहिए. ठीक है. As of now, let's take Windows. Smallest size लेता हूं मैं, because कोई requirement नहीं है हमारा इस पे. OS level का कोई task नहीं करना है, so smallest ये ले लो आप. Okay, RDP, what do you think? RDP on रखना चाहिए या नहीं रखना चाहिए मुझको?
Yes.
Yes.
Even if it is
No
going
problem.
from your virtual network, your private network to private, but RDP has to be there, guys, right? RDP रहना ही चाहिए.
Yes.
And these are not required. I'm just keeping it for some other practical जो मुझको बाद में काम करना है. नहीं, desk में हम कुछ नहीं कर रहे फिलहाल. Okay, here. Either I can create a new one जो खुद बनाकर दे रहा है मुझको, or I can create a new one जो मैं अपने हाथ से नाम ये करूंगा. Right? I can do that. Or what is my requirement? But in this case, do I have to create a new one? My requirement it is my machine should be
Same
on
network.
this virtual network, which is called VNet, and
Jump
default is the
server.
subnet. Though subnet is not requirement, guys. ठीक है? But subnet को हम बाद में पढ़ेंगे. As of now, just consider VNet. मेरा jump server VNet पे आना जरूरी है. Subnet कोई भी हो सकता है. So I'll see if I can see it here. Can you see? Jump server VNet. Now, did you realize, guys? My resource groups are different. मेरा वो jump server कौन से resource group में था? What is the name of that resource group?
Bastion.
Bastion. And here I am creating a new resource group. So what did you understand? कि resource group से आपका इसकी visibility खत्म नहीं होने वाली है. If it is in same region and if you have a sufficient level of access, you will see that virtual network in every resource group. तो resource group का कोई compulsion इस पे नहीं है. एक ही subnet है उसमें, so we'll select that. Multiple होते तो we would have selected something else. Subnet we'll discuss later. Do I require a public IP in my practical? होना चाहिए public IP?
No.
No. Okay. Net इसको basic रखते हैं. Everything is same. ये मैंने बता दिया. Why am I keeping this? Next. This is not required. ये सब basic. Focus only on what we are practicing. बाकी सबको default. I just disable that, but you can leave it for default. जो भी नहीं समझ में आया default. Okay, task guys. One thing, tags. Please, from now onwards, make sure that you make a habit to put tags. Tags is very important. Though it's very simple and small, but बहुत ही ज़्यादा important. So how are we going to follow tags? At least minimum एक tag चाहिए मुझको. So just give a name or maybe task name or whatever you like to say here. Just keep it uniform. So it will be easier for me. Well, we'll call it task name. And यहाँ पर आप उसका value दोगे. तो what name are we following here? Task name we are यहाँ पर हम कर रहे हैं Bastion.
Bastion.
ठीक है. और Bastion में like I was explaining कि अगर load balancer में 2 है तो keep it like this. Load balancer manual load balancer with VMSS, something like this. Okay, so make sure you follow this कि आप tags को use करो. इससे it will be easier for me क्योंकि मैं देख रहा था किसी के resource group में 2-2 3-3 load balancer थे and I don't know कि कौन सा वाला आपने किसके साथ किया है. So it will be easier for me also and it will be a habit for you कि आप tags use कर रहे हो. So यहाँ पर हम use कर रहे हैं Bastion. So I'll call it Bastion. Simple. Click and review. That's all. इस तरह से मैं एक और machine बना लूंगा now. We will जब हम break पे जाते हैं that one will be Linux machine. एक Linux बनाता हूँ. Windows हमने already बना दी. Right? And then we will see how to take remote using that one. How first thing we'll see how to create a Bastion. अभी तक हमने Bastion नहीं बनाया, right? अभी हम सिर्फ background का ये कर रहे हैं. So after this session, we'll see how to deploy a Bastion and then how to connect using Bastion. And then उसके बाद उस server पे आ जाने के बाद आप how will you connect to your other machines? Clear है, guys? Anyone has doubt?
No, sir.
In real environment, do they provide tagging name and all, or we have to assume it? No, guys, you will never assume anything. It will be a huge blunder. Imagine you have 1,000 machines और उस पे कंपनी ने नेमिंग कन्वेंशन डिसाइड कर रखा है कि भाई वर्चुअल मशीन नेम का टैगिंग ये होगा, टैग कॉस्ट सेंटर का टैगिंग ये होगा, और उसमें इफ यू स्टार्ट अज्यूमिंग एंड स्टार्ट पुटिंग थिंग्स अकॉर्डिंग टू योरसेल्फ एंड लेटर ऑन जब आपको रिपोर्ट पुल करनी होगी कि ओके इस कॉस्ट सेंटर के अंदर कितने मशीन्स आते हैं, पुणे के अंदर कितने मशीन्स आते हैं, फाइनेंस डिपार्टमेंट के अंदर कितने मशीन्स आते हैं, ये सारी रिपोर्टिंग एंड मॉनिटरिंग आपका टैगिंग के बेस पे होता है. टैगिंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट गाइस, राइट. उसमें अगर आपने अपने तरीके से लिखने लग गए ना दैट समवन इज राइटिंग पूना, someone is writing Pune, someone is writing just P, someone is writing XYZ, someone is writing like this. So do you think you're going to get a good report at the end? नहीं मिलने वाली है आपको, right? So this will be given to you. Taggings will be given to you. Example, place Pune. If this has given to you, you will use it exactly like this. इसमें कोई भी variation नहीं होगा. In real environment, that was a question someone asked, so I'm explaining it. Okay, less than a minute is left, guys. I will close this session and see you guys at 14:45. Okay, meanwhile, I'll create another machine. और मैं Bastion नहीं बना रहा हूँ. Bastion I will create once you guys join. So sharp 14:45 using same link. Stopping the session now.